Hello, this is wmpyr here to try to explain some of the stuff in this video called Escrima Madness, which I uploaded recently for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So I start with the body mechanics type movement right here. It's not so much the arms that's important, but really it is all about the twisting that comes from the legs and the lower body. So you can see right here is this twisting motion, which when I learned it at the time, it had no name. I just knew that we were supposed to do it for various techniques, including the Heaven Six. Um, but I I heard Professor Bram Frank call this body shifting or the body shift. So yeah, if you want to call it the body shift, I think that's it's probably a good way to go. So right here I'm showing the arms just so you can see that that's how it kind of goes. And there we go. What I just did right there was I connected it to footwork. So you exaggerate the body shifting and do it larger, it becomes footwork. So body shifting alone is not footwork. At least to me it's not, because you're not really moving. So but when you make the motion bigger as you saw, then I take a step back. You could actually take a step back and you could take a step forward. But first, let me talk about the body shifting, okay? So the body shifting right here that you see, this is done, obviously not for stepping or moving because I'm not. What you're doing here is you're learning how to attack or defend, do your technique using your body. So rather you hear it in all these different styles of martial arts, is that don't just use your arms, use your whole body, right? Put your whole body behind it. Don't be an arm puncher, right? Just where you're just punching with just your arm. So you hear that throughout in not just boxing, but in a whole bunch of other martial arts styles as well. So this body shifting, that's what this helps you do. It helps you use your body better. So, but using that footwork right there, where now my leg that was in the front goes all the way to the back. What this is doing, which this once again comes from body shifting, but it's an exaggerated version so that it turns into footwork. What I'm doing here is I'm presenting one side of my body, and when they come to attack it, it suddenly goes away, right? So I'm retracting it. I am retreating. Even if they hit me, I'm able to kind of absorb because I'm going backwards. I'm absorbing the shot. So it is a defensive move to be used as such. Now, when I'm going forwards, that's a different story. Moving forwards, the reason why you do it there, I use that in combination, and then you could mix it with boxing type footwork. And that to me is extremely important because boxing footwork is so realistic, and it's so combat ready. If you want something where you're going to use it right away, then I recommend the boxing footwork, okay? I learned the Filipino martial arts footwork a long time ago with the two triangles put together forms a diamond, and then you put diamonds side by side, or you can even put diamonds above and before it, and you're creating a whole pattern on the floor, and you have these zigzag lines and whatnot, but I get it. I understand that you can build your ABCs. You're learning your ABCs, you build words, you build sentences, and then eventually you can write a book or make a poem. So it's the building blocks is what it is. But me personally, I had a hard time transitioning that into realistic application. So in other words, when I went full contact, I wasn't able to apply it. The gap, it just didn't click for me. But the boxing footwork did. So I just want to make that clear for you guys. And once you connect it with boxing footwork, then all of a sudden, then the Filipino martial arts footwork started to really click for me. So, maybe you're like me, maybe you're not, but if you are like me, then I highly recommend that you practice the boxing type stuff. So anyway, yeah, right here, you see me jumping around a little bit and mixing the footwork together and doing other types of footwork, and then let's see, how will I move forward? Here, I've been moving backward. There it is. That was moving forwards. Okay. So the moving forwards, the reason why you would do it is because if you stood straight and attacked the person in front of you, then you're facing them and you're squared off. And this could end up in you trading blows. And we don't want to do that. So when you use this kind of footwork, then I'm able to change angles and I'm able to attack from an angle. So I'm not squared up with the opponent, and that's why you would do this. So it's really simple. So next I'm going to put on the gloves right here and applying the same kind of motion that you saw that comes from the body shift or the body shifting. And now there's a little bit of bouncing around like boxing. And once again, that is the body shifting right there. And using that same twisting mechanics, you could put in quite a bit of power there into these body shots. When I hit it, it feels really, really solid. Like I feel like, oh, that feels like it would have sunk in and hurt the guy. I'm not saying I got KO power, because I don't. But for me, someone of my size, I felt like those are pretty solid shots. So, and that just comes from, once again, the body shifting. So here we go. Now I am practicing more, getting ready for a Heaven 6. So I'm getting ready to start the Heaven 6 right there. And now the pushing of the bag is very important because I want the bag to move around a lot. The more the better. So I'm trying to get it to move, so I'm reading the bag. I'm trying to get in practice of, it's not just me throwing a punch or doing my attacks whenever I feel like. It has to be at the right time. So the bag moving around forces me to work on timing. So right there, that movement you saw, I moved out of the way and I struck the bag with a slashing downward slash. Okay, super, super important. And how do I call it? This is textbook Filipino martial arts. What I did right there was defang the snake. Okay, so if you do Filipino martial arts, then that movement I just did, everybody that does Filipino martial arts does that movement. So if you watch this video, you might go, oh, it's wmpyr doing crappy boxing. But in my mind, I'm not doing boxing. I'm doing Filipino martial arts. It's just I have boxing gloves on and I have a punching bag, so it's kind of like in a boxing format, but in my brain, I am 100% doing Filipino martial arts. In my mind, I am 100% staying true to the principles and the theories of Filipino martial arts. So that right there, once again, was defang the snake right there. Okay, so here, I want the bag to move, and there we go. That position that I just did, let me see if I can show you guys right there. Boom. And then watch me right here. That is the Heaven 6 starting position, but I'm using it as a defensive shield. So that's where the wedge comes in. So in my school of thought, the Filipinos are guerrilla warfare fighters. They use everything to their advantage, everything. So, even the arm position. So some people think, no, that's just for helping you learn to move or whatever. To me, it's no. This is a combat move. I use it for combat right there. So, boom. Not so much right there, but same idea. It was kind of could have been an elbow or forearm, but that's what the wedge is. And there we go. That's a little bit more like that. There's one hand on top, the other hand on the bottom. That is a modified Heaven 6 starting position, over and under position. or some people may call cerrada or closed position, you know. But anyway, here we go. That movement right there was move out of the way and counter, which is defang the snake. So in my mind, I am slashing. In my mind, I have a blade and I am cutting at the opponent's arm. So that's what I'm doing right there. So I'm working the body shifting, moving out of the way, moving at an angle, and here's more heaven six type movements. When I'm doing the heaven six stuff like this, what I really want is I want to do as much backhands as possible, and I'm thinking all six of the movements can be backhands, and that's what I want. Why? Why? The reason is because in boxing, backhands are illegal. And I'd rather use techniques that a boxer is not going to be familiar with. I want to use something where he's going, oh, that's a backhand. This bastard's doing something illegal. Because I'm not doing this for sport. I'm doing this for the street. I'm doing this for self-defense. So if some street thug, is going to attack me and I have to fight back, I'd rather use techniques that he's not familiar with, something that's a little bit off for him. So that's why my obsession with backhands right here. So I'm still working on it, but I'm trying to do as much backhands as possible. And once again, I believe I can do all backhands for the Heaven Six. So just something I need to work on a little bit more. And here we go. Just working on the Heaven Six there. So the Heaven Six motion, when you're using sticks and stuff, the motion is bigger. And then with empty hand, yes, I have gloves, but here it's technically empty hand. So with this, the motions just become more compact. And now I'm working more on a vertical type motion and trying to get that backhand motion in there. So it doesn't matter if it's vertical or what. There, once again, that's a vertical motion, and I'm trying to get that backhand, really focus on that, to bring down the knuckles onto their face. So there we go. And that circular motion that I did right there, once again, in my mind, I am cutting the arms. So it's defang the snake. And that pulling motion I did, that's just, trying to predict and show you guys here, the bag's coming back here, that I'm reading the bag. I'm actually paying attention to the bag. So that's kind of the defensive shield, which is connected to the wedge. And here we go. So some more of that. And yeah, so that motion right there, let's see, right here, I bring my left foot back. It's so subtle here, but bringing the left foot back is a very important exercise. And back when I learned it, just like the body shifting, it had no name. The people that taught it to me, they didn't give it a name. Sensei Rick, he calls it the floating foot. So in his system, that's what they call it, and it's supposed to be very, very important in his system. And for me, the people that I trained with, they taught it to me, and I learned it, and it was an important part. But once again, it didn't have a name. So, and here I'm using it's the same retreating motion. So I just connected it to a Muay Thai shin check. Leg check. It completely works well together. Oh, that's all I can tell you, because it's the same idea. You're getting that lead leg out of the way so that it doesn't get attacked, whether they're trying to cut it with a bladed weapon or they're smashing my knee with a stick. I'm trying to get my leg out of the way. And in Muay Thai kickboxing, they're trying to kick at my leg, and I could use the same motion to get it out. And here, I'm literally holding the gloves as if they were sticks or knives, and I'm going to use them that way. Now, this is a very, very good way for you to practice the Heaven Six. You see, in my mind, the gloves are weapons. So that's the way that I'm viewing it. And so even when I put them on proper, right here, obviously I'm holding on to them like if they were literally sticks, but And this is a good way to train to help you go from transition from sticks to empty hand. Use the gloves. The gloves will help you. And then when you actually put on the gloves properly, the weight of the gloves still give you that extra feeling that's like, oh, I got something heavy in my hands. I got something in my hands. So it still gives you that, helps you out with the heaven six type motion. So obviously the motions are a little bit bigger, and now I'm trying to make it a little bit more compact. So I'm adjusting it. And then from here, you go to empty hand. And then boom, you can see the motion's a lot more compact. Now, if I'm having trouble with this, I'll go back to the gloves. If I'm still having trouble, like something just doesn't feel right, I'll go back to the sticks. So you constantly go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you adjust that way. You know, you fine tune your movements right there. So there I'm doing, yeah, moving out of the way and cut, which is defang the snake. And here again, body shifting and using the heaven six the entire time there. So now I'm using the heaven six, but up to their face using my forearm. So this is the blender. So the blender plus grinding. The grinding comes from grappling. So what I'm doing here, now I mix it with some elbows, but I am basically grinding onto their face using the heaven six blender, and then I go into the clinch. Okay, so this is extreme close quarters, or should I just, this is just close range, okay, which is the clinch. So right there, boom, right into their face. I want to attack the eyes, the nose, you know, all the sensitive areas of the face, and then get the clinch. Why am I doing this? Why do I do right there? All that motion right there was to the face. The reason why I'm doing it is just in case this dude is a better grappler than I am. I don't want to get thrown. I don't want to get slammed. I don't want to get taken down. So if I do this, this distracts them enough that it throws them off their game. That's my goal. And then I could get into clinch proper. And then from here, there's obviously a chance that I could get thrown, but there's other tactics that I have here. But I'm in a much better position because right when I get to them, they might use that momentum to, if they're really good, they could throw me from there. So to try to avoid that and try to make it difficult for them to just do whatever they want and you know, use their grappling skills on me, I use the wedge to enter, and that wedge is a bump, you know, to distract, and then once again go shredding their face with my forearms is to distract again. I'm not trying to pluck out their eyes or cause permanent injury to the eyeball. I expect them to close their eyes, and then I'm just using the blade of my forearm or the blade of my arm, even elbows if possible, to put a lot of tremendous grinding pressure onto their eyeball. And once again, no permanent damage, just undeniable pressure, undeniable annoyance, and all over their face once again. And that takes me into the clinch. So anyway, this video, honestly, I felt like it was kind of one of the videos that showed my method, the wmpyr fighting method, very, very clear from long range to medium range to close range. Hopefully it was easy for you guys to understand, oh, this is how he intends to apply it, at least for empty hand. You know, it would be the same with weapons. To me, it's no difference. Okay, I'm still doing the same thing. Okay, yes, there's going to be differences here and there, subtle differences, but the overall idea to me is exactly the same. So I hope this makes some sense to you guys, and you guys find it enjoyable and useful. And that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.